Hello, everybody. Thanks to Nate. Sorry, Nate, I don't remember your last name, but sometimes it's simple, easy commands like, quote, make more videos, exclamation point, end quote, that work the best to get us off of our butt to do some stuff. So I've been making a lot of decks. This one is one of my funnier ones. I like to share it. I have a great time with this one. Inspired by the new from the vault, Momir Vig, Simic Visionary, but this isn't really a Momir Vig deck so much as it is a deck about one little creature, which we will get to very shortly. See if you can guess what creature it is. Momir Vig's ability, though, he's a 2/2. Whenever you cast a green creature spell, you can search your library for a creature and reveal it. If you do, shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. So you make a green creature on top of your library. It's like a tutor effect, and if you cast a blue creature spell, well, then you can reveal the top card of your library. And if it's a creature card, put it into your hand. So the way that works is if you cast a blue-green creature, a Simic creature, then you can stack those triggers so that you basically just tutor for a creature and put it into your hand, which is awesome. So in the deck, I play, I think it's going to be 8 islands. Let's get through these pretty quick. 8 basic islands. I don't play as many non-basic lands these days because, sorry for the weird art, but you know, it's hard when you make so many decks to keep the art the same. So I have 9 forests. And then for your more dual lands, I got Thornwood Falls, Simic Guildgate, Flooded Grove, Simic Growth Chamber, Breeding Pool, Command Tower, 2 hideaway lands, Mossward Bridge and Shelldock Isle. Shelldock Isle is really hard to trigger considering you have to tap and pay for the card underneath it if a library has 20 or fewer cards in it. So will that ever happen? Who knows? I guess that's why it's in here. This deck certainly won't make that happen. Here's a manland, Fairy Conclave, and should not say manland, should say person land, fairy land. Anyways, I've killed somebody with Fairy Conclave, so it's a boss land. Colony Garden and Dryad Arbor, some more boss lands. Blighted Woodland, Novagen, Heart of Progress. Now we're getting into the Colorless Lands. This one sacks to find 2 basic lands, just a ramp card. Novagen puts +1/+1 counters on creatures that enter the battlefield this turn. Alchemist Refuge, you can play things as if they had flash. Temple of the False God, I'm still using it despite my best judgment. Reliquary Tower, you know, just because. Who knows when you got lots of cards in your hand, you don't want to discard them all. Beseiju to protect the 1 sorcery in here that I think is worth it. And then Tectonic Edge and Glacial Chasm, because this deck, this Momir Vig deck, is all about doing your own thing. You don't want to be pressured to be damaged and be in this race with other people who are trying to fight you. So basically you just want to be off on this iceberg, chilling, just rocking out, doing some experiments. Here we go. Alright, into the deck. After our 36 lands or so, the Mana Rocks, Soul Ring, Simic Signet, Simic Key Rune, which also becomes a little crab, which is awesome. I love crabs. Dark Steel Ingot, Worn Power Stone, Hedron Archive, great. It's got card draw into it. I would definitely pick up some of these if you play a lot of Commander because they'll probably get more valuable. Sensei's Divining Top. You know, you want to make sure the top of your deck's doing what it needs to do. So there we go. Alright, here we go. Now we're going into more of our creature ramp. Good old Bird of Paradise. Sakura Tribe Elder, Little Turtle Man. Coiling Oracle. Yeah, He does his thing whenever he enters the battlefield. Reveal the top card of your library. So he explores for you basically. If it's a land, you can put it onto the battlefield. Yavimaya Elder, such a good card. Yeah, basically you can sack, you can draw a card, and search for 2 basic lands. Thanks for dying for us, buddy. And Oracle of Moldiah. Oh, Moldy. She's the best. Sorry if I'm going over these cards too quickly. I'm assuming that some people know what they are. Solemn Simulacrum. Leave comments below if you don't know what they are and you want me to stop. Solemn Simulacrum. Yeah, he's the best. Draws a card, searches for basic lands, puts them into play. Thanks for dying, dude. Genesis Hydra. This is a funny one. I'm just using it mostly because it's shiny. But it is in these colors, and it comes in with a bunch of counters, which can be valuable. Also, it's gigantic, and it kind of tutors for a creature in a way. Serum Visions. I figured I should have some 1-mana cantrips. Mostly just one 1-mana cantrip. Rampant Growth. Yay! Fetches a basic land, puts it into play tapped. Unexpected Results. I love this one because this is kind of a fun deck anyway, so I love just the gamble of it. Shuffle your library, reveal the top card. If it's a non-land card, then you can cast it just for free, which is awesome. If it's a land card, you can put that onto the battlefield, and then you just return this to your hand, so you can keep playing it over and over again if you're ramping, which is awesome. Song of the Dryads. Yep, got to protect your peeps, so this is the protection section. So you want to, somebody's trying to get on Momir Vig, mess him up, well, turn him into a forest. Lightning Greaves. This is going to be very special because we have to protect our one little friend that is hiding in the deck, and you'll get to him soon. Similarly, Spellskate has one mission, to protect the one little guy. Simic Charm. Yep, we're going to do this. All creatures, all permanents you control gain hexproof more than any of the other modes on this spell because you got to protect your stuff. Here's old Cyclonic Rift. Very controversial. I wound up getting one. I don't like using it for its overload cost. If I'm playing against people with a very powerful deck, I will use it for its overload cost as long as I'm going to win, like right there. But, philosophically, it's up to you what you want to do. But I do use it just for bouncing a permanent because, it's super feel bads if you do the overload. Beast Within. Woohoo! This is a weird art for that. Anyways, it's a giant claw coming out of a man's body. Turns him into a 3/3 beast. This is a new card from Kaladesh. Pretty excited to try it out. It returns any number of target non-land, non-token permanents you control to their owner's hands. And this is for instant speed. 4-mana instant speed. My thought is there's going to be a reason you'll see really shortly why you would want to return a bunch of your own stuff. The bonus on it is that you get to draw a card each time you return a permanent this way. So, some card draw. It protects your guys. Similarly, asceticism. All your creatures get hexproof, and you can regenerate them. Aether Spouts for attacking creatures. Just put them all on the bottom of their library if you want. Eternal Witness. Alright, so we got to get things back out of the graveyard in this deck because this deck is literally focused on one creature. Have you guessed what it is yet? So we got to make sure that we can get that creature back if we need to. So here are the two brothers, the Tree Brothers, and they're very similar. One gets back a creature and returns it from the graveyard to your hand, and then he dies 3 turns later and does the same thing. This one will return anything from your graveyard to your hand, die, and then he'll go get another thing. So he's like the strictly better Deadwood Tree Folk. This is awesome. Oh, here's one from Kaladesh 2. Why not? Let's try it out. Wildest Dreams. Return X target cards from your graveyard to your hand, then exile it. I think I'll do that. Sure. Sounds fun. Leyline of Anticipation. Woohoo! Just so you can play Flash. This deck wants to kind of surprise things on the instep before you're gonna go off, you know? So you want to put out 2 or 3 guys at Flash at instant speed. Kiyora's Follower, because it was full art, you know, and it is a blue-green creature, so it triggers Momir Vig in that you can kind of just tutor for whatever. And he's okay, you know, untaps things. That's great. And similarly, Simic Guildmage, there are some things that have +1/+1 counters on here. And so he can give things +1/+1 counters, card draw, he tutors. I mean, what more can you want from a full art, beautiful, weird, spike-headed old man? Murkfiend Liege, similarly, he's untapping stuff every turn, which is awesome. And he's also super ugly and blue-green. Booyah. Garruk, green decks wouldn't be the same without old Garruk Wildspeaker untapping his 2 target lands. Am I ever going to go overrun on somebody with his ultimate? Probably not, but it would be funny. This one, Kiora, Crashing Wave. Why do I like Kiora the Crashing Wave so much? Well, here's a story. I was playing against a guy with a supercharged Perforos deck. Perforos, not like my old Goblin Tribal video, but Perforos as in like I will just kill everyone here within like 2 or 3 turns of that thing being out. What does Kiora's #1 ability do? That +1 right there? Until your next turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to and dealt by target permanent an opponent controls. Sorry that it's blurry. This is a cheap webcam. But that was the first time, he said, that anyone had ever used Kiora the Crashing Wave's +1 ability against Perforos to literally shut it down. And he said that there had been times where he'd played with Kioras on the table and no one had ever done that. Read your cards, folks. She's the bomb. And here he is, the one, the only, the beautiful Biovisionary. He is the inspiration for this deck. I saw this card a long time ago. I guess it was Gate Crash, or whatever that symbol is, and I knew I had to make a deck. At the beginning of the end step, if you control 4 or more creatures named Biovisionary, you win the game. So this is it. This deck is a Biovisionary deck, and your sole purpose in life is to clone him 4 times, search for him, get him out of exile, get him out of your graveyard, do whatever you can to protect him. The one, the only Biovisionary. And I love his flavor text. Such a dick. He tired of his fellow researchers and their useless prattling, so he decided to make a network of scholars with whom he could carry a conversation. That's right, himself. He wants to talk to himself for eternity on his glacial chasm. And we're going to make that happen. How are we going to make that happen? Clones. Clones. Here's your creature clones. Phantasmal Image. Cryptoplasm. Woohoo! So he changes it upkeep, which is kind of useful. You can keep changing. The good thing about playing a clone deck is that you can clone the other people's gigantic stuff. So you don't have to just clone Biovisionaries. Phyrexian Metamorph. Great. Clones artifact, clone creatures, the regular clone, and then the regular clone's better, strictly better brother, the new stunt double from Conspiracy 2. Which flashes in. And then Clever Impersonator. This will copy Planeswalkers. Why not? Sounds great. Altered Ego. Big fan of this one. If you ever wanted to make Biovisionary into like a 14/14, well, here's the way to do it. Enters with a bunch of +1/+1 counters. Body Double. In case he goes to the graveyard and you want to just clone him there, sure. Let's get some necrophilia going. Cthulhu's all about it. Mercurial Pretender. Woohoo! Love this. A little clone that you can bounce back to your hand and just do it over and over again. Plus it's shiny. I went on a little shiny kick. Sorry, everybody. And here's a great card from Conspiracy also. And I was like, wow, this is perfect for my sweet Biovisionary deck. Spy Kit. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has all names of non-legendary creature cards in addition to its name. So Spy Kit will make anything, even Momir Vig, into a Biovisionary. So if you lost them somehow, then it doesn't matter. You can just make another one and then start cloning them. This one's great. Dance of Many. It is a wall of text. It is 2 blue. It is from the dark. Although this one is from Chronicles because it's white bordered. When Dance of Many comes into play, this is what happens. It clones a thing. It makes a token that sits there so long as this enchantment is in play. Got it? And so this enchantment, Dance of Many, and that token are tied together. So if either one of those things leaves play, then they both go to the graveyard. During your upkeep, you have to pay 2 blue or bury it. Why is this in the deck? Well, sometimes you have 2 mana left and you don't have a phantasmal image. What are you going to do? Well, you can Dance with Many to get your 4th and final Biovisionary. And also, it's just funny. Seeing people's reactions to a card that is this ugly and weird with a bunch of shrimp flying around. I have no idea what it does. It's just priceless. Infinite Reflection. Much better. You enchant a creature and then every time that basically each other non-token creature you control becomes a copy of that creature. So there you go. So you got a bunch of things out that aren't Biovisionary, Kior's Follower, whatever. They're now Biovisionaries, you win. And then non-token creatures you control enter the battlefield that way too. So it's pretty great. Back from the Brink, again, you can get stuff out of your graveyard, exile a creature card from your graveyard, pay its mana cost, put a token. So this is a little dangerous because you have to exile the thing that you're using, but you can exile like clones, stuff like that, and put those into play as copies of Biovisionary. It'll sit on the board. It's there if you need it. Stolen Identity. Love this. Cipher. Cipher's great. Cipher's a confusing mechanic for me. I thought that you actually had to deal damage in order to get the cipher to work, but no, you can just cipher onto a creature. So basically you cast this to put a token clone, a Biovisionary onto the field, and then you cipher it onto your creature that's most likely to hit somebody. And that just sits there until you get an opening, and then whenever you do, you cast Stolen Identity all over again. I was confused before and thought that you had to, like, that turn hit somebody, otherwise the cipher wouldn't work. I don't know. Anyways, it's great. Tempt with Reflections. This is great. I love tempting offer, especially in a Biovisionary deck. Would you like me to get 2 Biovisionaries? 3 Biovisionaries? How many people are at the table? Yeah, you guys can get clones, but you know who else who can get clones? Me. Lots of clones. Give me 4. Why not? And Rite of Replication. Win the game right there with Biovisionary. Kick it for 5. Cost of 9 total. It's expensive, but then you put 5 tokens onto the battlefield that are copies. Freaking all-star right here, Mimic Mat. Not only is he gonna keep your Biovisionary's memory alive in this little urn, but he's also gonna copy any bad-ass Eternal Witness, whatever type spell that you want to keep looping over and over again every turn. With enter the battlefield effects, because it's fantastic. If you don't use it, you should. And now let's search for Biovisionary. Summoner's Pact. For 0, put it into your hand. For 1, put it onto the top of your deck with Worldly Tutor. Grandson Zenith, put it into the battlefield. Primal Command, put it into your hand, and then also you can do some cool stuff like shuffle a person's graveyard back into their library, because we know that graveyard decks are pretty annoying. Court of Calling, search for it, put it on the battlefield. Rift Sweeper, gotta have it in here. What does Rift Sweeper do? Well, when it comes into play, choose target face-up card that's removed from the game. Its owner shuffles it into his or her library. Oddly enough, I don't think that mechanic's ever been, that specific command has ever been, ever mattered until now with that stupid 1 mana artifact creature from Kaladesh that exiles things from your deck face down. If you don't know what it is, you should look it up. So Rift Sweeper won't get those cards back. Ha. Traverse the Uvenwald. Normally it just kind of ramps you a little bit, gets basic land, puts it into your hand. But if you had Delirium, which you should get in Commander pretty easily, you can just search your deck for a creature or land card, and it's an awesome 1 mana tutor. This one's a great one. Weird Harvest. People love this too because they haven't seen it. I don't remember what set it's from, but for green and X, each player at the table can search his or her library for X creature cards, reveal them, and put them into his or her hand. Then each player who searches this way shuffles it. I mean, it's kind of group huggish, but for you, it's just getting you 4 clones or whatever, however many you need, and it's awesome. Again, searching for more stuff, Fauna Shaman, she's a boss, discard a creature, you've got stuff to get things out of your graveyard, doesn't matter, so then just search your library for Biovisionary. And Woodland Bellower. Yeehaw! Good old Woodland Bellower enters the battlefield. He can search right up for Biovisionary, the green creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less. He is Biovisionary's big friend, big fuzzy friend, and that is it. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments about this deck, leave them on the bottom. Thanks again for getting me off my butt, Nate, to make a new video. I have more videos coming because I've been making a lot of funny decks. Enjoy.